Okay, so for question 1A, why the child refugee crisis is unfolding, it was basically because the children were fleeing from violence within Mexico. This was specifically gangs and drug cartels. Drug cartels are very highly organized groups that produce and distribute drugs. She actually talks about in the story how 72 immigrants were killed by a drug cartel group because they refused to work for the organization and they didn't have enough money to pay the ransom. She also talks about how some of these children were just coming to the US to find family members who had already fled. So yeah. For question 1B, how were their court cases decided? Basically, these children were first taken into custody by Border Patrol. From there, they had 21 days to find a sponsor and lawyer. I think before the 21 days rule, that was decided by Obama. I believe it was 2 months they had. I'm not really sure. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it was 2 months. Now it's 21 days that they have to find a sponsor / lawyer. From there, they were given a questionnaire, and their questionnaire is basically a list of complex questions that they had to answer. Their answers were then deciphered by a lawyer, and then an attorney must agree to take their case. And their case would go to court. And if the battle was won, then the children would receive some sort of immigration relief. But if the battle was lost, they would be deported back to Mexico. For question 1C, what the complexity of Luiselli, I think that's how you say her name, I'm not really sure, but Luiselli's role as a translator. Basically, she had to transform these small stories and these bits and pieces that children would give her into sufficient pieces of evidence that could be used in a court case. So obviously a very hard job, a lot on your shoulders, and Luiselli was also a big advocator for children to have a better life within the US, so I'm sure that it was a very stressful job for her. Also, another one of the complexities is like the stories were just very hard to listen to. They're very sad. She talks about a ton within the story. And it's not just the hardships of their journey to the United States, but also just that many of these children did not have parents. I know this story specifically is speaking of children who come without parents, so obviously that's very sad. For part 2, I chose to answer question E. Question E asks you to talk about how the binaries like legal, illegal, citizen, alien, all of that, how the narratives within the story kind of blur these lines. My answer was kind of just that all these stories, even like she talks about like what lawyers and herself face with trying to defend these children, just that like we're all people at the end of the day. Illegal, alien, citizen of the United States, we're all people. So everyone faces challenges. A lawyer in court is going to have challenges in their life, just like somebody who, is traveling to the United States and trying to start a better life for themselves. And I think the moral of the story is just kind of that you never know somebody's circumstances. So you should just always be kind and welcoming to everyone. no matter where they came from or who they are, how they got here, we should be welcoming to everyone. And I think that Louis Selly throughout this story is a big advocator of that, and just that these children are people just like we are. They've faced all these challenges. We face challenges in our own lives. And so, we're all people. We all deserve a chance at a good life. And so, yeah.